Good day, sir. So, I'm Ruben Gandamon, Decadec Gandamon, and I'm the one who explained first. So, my topic for today is all about environmental crisis and describe the origins and manifestations of global environment crisis. So, first of all, what is global environmental crisis? So, is a phrase that refers to the effect on the climate of human actions, in particular the on fire of fossil fuel, coal, oil and gas, and large scale of deforestation which cause emissions to the atmosphere of the large amount of greenhouse gases, and of which the most carbon dioxide. And so the major global environmental problems is like global warming, acid rain, and air pollution. So urban sprawl, waste disposal, ozone layer depletion, water pollution, and climate change, and many more effects in every humans, animals, and nation on this planet. So the origins and manifestation of global environmental crisis is it occurs largely as a result of combustion of fossil fuels, emissions from agriculture and pastoralism, and land use changes that accompany the deflation of clearance and burning of the forest. So, what are the causes of environmental crisis? Pollution of air. This is examples. Pollution of air, land and water through excessive deforestation and industrialization and overfilling landfills, which emits CO2 and adds to greenhouse gas emissions, are all topmost causes of this environmental issue. So, as a student, we also need to help our environment to have a good impact to this earth. So, there are many ways that we can also help environment. So we need to help the environment issues, and we have self-discipline, so we can tell the other people also do their part. So, and we need to help the environment clean and not having environmental issues anymore. So thank you.
My topic is to relate everyday encounters with pollution and global warming. Pollution is most of the air pollution takes place due to burning of fossil fuels such as coal, oil, gasoline to produce energy for electricity or transportation like buses, jeepneys, and the release of carbon dioxide in the high level indicates how much fossil fuels is burned. This also emits other toxic pollutants in the air. Pollution of air, water, and soil are interlinked and influence each other. Therefore, we need to tackle all of them together. Pollution disturbs our ecosystem's balance, affects our everyday lives, and gives rise to global warming. Industry and motor vehicle exhaust are the number of pollutants. Air pollutions are caused by various gases and toxins released by industries and factories, and the combustion of fossil fuels. Soil pollution is majorly caused by industrial waste and that deprives soil for essential nutrients. Pollution has reached its peak due to the development of modernization in our lives, and it impacts every aspect of our environment, including both humans and animals. And global warming occurs when carbon dioxide and the other air pollutants collect in the atmosphere and absorb absorb sunlight and solar radiation that have bounced off to the Earth's surface, or what we call climate change. Global warming are the results of human practices like emission of greenhouse gases, oil and gas used all of the time is almost every day. Every industry, deforestation, power plants. This leads to rising temperatures of the ocean and the Earth's surface, causing natural disasters like flooding, melting of polar ice caps that can cause rising of the sea level, and unnatural precipitation patterns such as flash floods, hurricanes, and wildfires. It has become crucial to the control of carbon emission by changing our habits. Climate change will continue to have a significant impact on ecosystems and organisms, though they are not impacted equally. The Arctic is one of the ecosystems most vulnerable to the effects of climate change, as it is warming at least twice the rate of the global average, and the melting land ice sheets and glaciers contributes dramatically to the sea level rise around the globe.
What is desertification? So desertification is the process by which fertile land becomes desert, typically as a result of drought, deforestation, or inappropriate agriculture. So ang desertification is kanang nagrefer na siya kanang process of kanang fertile land nga nahimong unproductive, means kanang land nga nag-struggle na og grow of any type of vegetation because of the lack of minerals or nutrients sa soil. Muna siya desertification. So ang cause and effects sa desertification is overgrazing. So overgraze kanang mag-graze og livestock or wildlife like mga cows, goat, mga sheep. Muna siya kanang magtugway siya mga ngana niya nang mabot sa point nga mo-deplete na ang grass cover, tas muliki-liki na ang yuta mo na siya overgrazing. So another is deforestation, kanang clearing og forest land, like mamutol og mga kahoy para like I don't know of unsay lang reason para ana, and muna sa usa sa cause or effect sa desertification. Og soil erosion, kanang displacement of upper layer of the soil, kanang muna sa form of kuana sa degradation, like mulupyak ang yuta tungod sa magkawala ang nilahang soil nutrients or minerals, and muna sa cause of effect sa desertification. So mostly ang maapektuhan ani is mga farmers na naggrow og mga rice, like mga vegetables, muna siya kalagmitan maapektuhan sa desertification. So what is ozone layer depletion? First, what is ozone layer? So ang ozone layer is found in the lower portion of Earth's atmosphere. It has the potential to absorb the 97% to 99% of the harmful ultraviolet radiation coming from the sun that can damage life on Earth. So ang ozone layer mo nag-protect nato sa kainit gikan sa sun o kanang para dili kayo init, dili madami sa tong skin o dili ta initan, muna siya nag-protect sa ato ang ozone layer. So ozone layer depletion is the thinning of the ozone layer present in the upper atmosphere. This happens when the chlorine and bromine atoms in the atmosphere come in contact with ozone and destroy the ozone molecules. One chlorine can destroy 100,000 molecules of ozone. It destroyed more quickly than it is created. So causes of ozone layer is kanang fluorocarbons, like mga chemicals, like kanang burning of plastics, like ulay proper of disposal, like muna siya one of the causes of ozone layer depletion. So effects of ozone loss is kanang increases sunburns, cataracts, skin cancer, and vulnerability of the human immune system. Kay kung magkagamay ang ozone layer means magkainit sa ang kalibutan. So muna siya one of the effect is it also decreases crop yield and the productivity of phytoplankton. So ang phytoplankton di ay is key part na siya sa ocean o freshwater ecosystems. Ang plankton is also known as microalgae, are similar sila sa terrestrial plants and nag-contain sila og chlorophyll and it requires sunlight in order to live and grow. Muna siya phytoplankton. So mo to siya ang ozone layer depletion.
So, good afternoon everybody. I am Cadet Dr. General Instead. Today we'll be talking about the environmental crisis. So, the environmental crisis is where we identify and summarize on how danger is lurking beneath our ecosystem and how it affects our normal lives by the day. So, shortage of resources, pollution, global warming, and any between that is within the general root of global warming. It is dragged down to the connection of the environmental crisis. So, however, the countries from around the world are notified by this epidemic and made a solution to reduce any bad casualties and danger to the ecosystem we live today. So, and in that environmental policy, environmental protection was implemented by the countries around the world. So, environmental protection. So now we will be talking about the environmental protection which is implemented by the countries for now. So the environmental protection is a topical and controversial issues of the contemporary third world development as a result of growing crisis of environment and development as well as issues of global environmental balance. Divergent views and proposals have been put forward by external governments, international agencies, and environmental groups, resolving the environmental degradation problems of the developing world, so ang kalibutan. However, very little appraisal has been made of the efforts by indigenous third world governments in facing up to their environmental constitutional issues. So, this article examines the role of past and recent governments' environmental control policies and programs in Nigeria. So Nigeria is one of the examples of a third world country around the world that has a very difficult crisis between the environmental ecosystem of what they have right now. So the article analyzes three aspects of environmental protection. So these are one of the examples of Nigeria's environmental policies, and we need to follow about it too. So we'll be starting off with number one, which is the theoretical economic basis of environmental protection at the Nigerian approach of environmental protection. So including traditional values and modern institutional control measures, the latter embraces nature conservative efforts. So you can see that their institutional rights and the environmental policies that they have is very important to the Nigerian authorities and the governments of what they have, if they are based as a third world economic country. So next is number two, so environmental considerations in national development plans. So plano, you all know that. So number three, last, is the evolution of a federal environment protection agencies and national policies of environment. So finance, the article discuss the future challenges and directions for environmental policy. So even if they are also considered as a third world country, Nigeria is one of the examples of a country that is morally focused on the economic structure and the economic development of what they have, that is both environmental friendly and eco-friendly as well.
Hi, good day. I'm Cadet Fernandez. In today's video, I'm going to tackle the environmental problem. So our environment faces several problems, and many of these seem to be worsening with time, bringing us into a time of a true environmental crisis. It is therefore becoming increasingly important to raise awareness of the existence of these issues, as well as what can be done to reduce their negative impact Some of the key issues are: first is pollution. Pollution of the air, water, and soil caused by toxins such as plastic, heavy metal, and nitrates caused by factors such as toxin and gases released by factories. Combustion of fossil fuels, acid rain, oil spill, and industrial waste. Next is global warming. The emission of greenhouse gases due to human activity cause global warming, which in turn cause an increase in temperature that then leads to rising sea levels, melting of polar ice caps, flash floods, and desertification. Next is overpopulation. We are facing a shortage of our resources such as food, water, and fuel to sustain the rising global population. Particularly in developed countries, intensive agriculture attempting to lessen the problem actually leads to more damage through the use of chemical fertilizers, pesticides, and insecticides. Next is waste disposal. An excessive amount of waste is produced and dumped in the oceans. Nuclear waste is particularly dangerous, as well as plastics and electronic waste. Next is ocean acidification. The increase in the production of carbon dioxide by human cause the ocean's acidity to rise, which has a negative impact on marine life. Next is loss of biodiversity. Species and habitats are becoming extinct due to human activity. This causes an imbalance in natural processes like pollination and poses a threat to ecosystems. Coral reef destruction is particularly affected. Next is deforestation. Loss of trees in order to make space for residential, industrial, or commercial projects means that less oxygen is produced and temperature and rainfall are affected. Next is ozone layer depletion. Pollution caused by chlorofluorocarbons or CFCs in the air creates a hole in the ozone layers, which protects the earth from harmful UV radiation. So next is acid rain. Pollutants in the atmosphere such as sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxides cause acid rain, which has negative consequences for humans, wildlife, and aquatic species. Next is public health issues. Lack of clean water is one of the leading environmental problems currently. So pollutants in the air also cause issues such as respiratory disease and cardiovascular disease. So that's all. Thank you.
So, good day, guys. My topic is the future of globalization. So, globalization creates greater opportunities for firms in less industrialized countries to tap into more and larger markets around the world. Thus, business located in developing countries have more access to capital flows, technology, human capital, cheaper imports, and larger export markets. If old globalization was about goods and standard services crossing borders, new globalization is about rapid economic integration through a digital exchange, technology, innovation, and the organizational imitation. Essentially, the globalization of ideas and knowledge. In the future, or after 20 years, the world would undergo a positive change which will possess the following features: healthy competition, improved productive efficiency, increased volume of output, income and employment, better living standards, greater availability of information, and modern technology. So that's all, and Thank you.
So my topic is all about what is the relationship between the kind of population growth and environmental issue of food security. So as what I have understand in my topic, so increasing of numbers of people often drive of kanang demand kanang for food kanang which kanang typically results in additional use of kanang arable land and water. So this is kanang especially true in the absence of adequate food productions technology and kanang integrated programs that are kanang simultaneously address kanang community needs for food and productive and reproductive health. So as what I have kanang observant nowadays, so dati kanang we are kanang abundant of kanang food then karon nagkadako ang population, we are kanang magpalit na ay we buy kanang rice in kanang sa gawas na. So sa una kay kita may kanang mabaligya og foods ay kanang mga rice sa gawas, so karon kay kita na mo palit. So that's all.
What is the relationship of population growth to sustainability? So sustainability means meeting our own needs without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. Population growth is the increase in the number of people in a population. The relationship of population growth to sustainability. An increase of population challenges our ability both to live sustainability as a species and mitigate human-driven climate change. Generally speaking, as the human population grows, our consumption on natural resources, clothing, fresh water, and land increases. So the more people on our planet, the more challenges we will encounter to remain the sustainability balance to its population. Next, what is the relationship of population growth to development? So population growth can help or hinder the rate of development. A developed country with low population and low percentage of employable people needs an increase in population in order to keep up with the economic development. On the other hand, for undeveloped country with high population density and high percentage of employable people, any increase in population will be detrimental to its economy. That's all, sir. Thank you.